The government is about to make an important financial move with an initial public offer for Kenya Pipeline Company on the Nairobi Securities Exchange before the end of 2025 to raise approximately 100 billion Kenya shillings. So, what's an initial public offer, or in short, IPO? In this episode, we break down how it works and how you can turn this into an investment opportunity.
Also, today on Mint, think twice, a different way to sell Mitumba. Building for the future, how to make your home adaptable, sustainable, and relevant for years to come. Lights, camera, action, how your TV stars come to be.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Mola, kila siku nikucheza mola, make more bila stress. Mola, kila siku sikuweza mola, make more bila stress.
This week on Money Moves, we look into what an initial public offer is. Find out how listing the Kenya Pipeline Company on the Nairobi Securities Exchange is expected to boost investor confidence and provide opportunities for Kenyans.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
In case you missed it, the Kenyan government is about to drop a big money move with an initial public offering for Kenya Pipeline Company on the Nairobi Securities Exchange before the close of 2025 to raise approximately 100 billion shillings. So, what's an initial public offer, or in short, IPO? Think of it like this. It is the first time a company says, "Hey everyone, want a piece of us?" and sells shares to the public. The plan here is for the government to sell up to 65% of KPC to private investors. The money raised will then help public services, infrastructure, and hopefully reduce borrowing. The IPO is part of a broader privatization strategy supported by the Privatization Act 2023, and it's supposed to give Kenyans like you and I a chance to own a piece of one of the country's most strategic companies. This move is expected to boost investor confidence and provide opportunities for Kenyans to own shares in the strategic infrastructure company. Interesting, right? Now, if you're wondering what this could look like, let's take a trip down memory lane to the Safaricom IPO back in 2008. People literally lined up in the streets to open stock trading accounts. The IPO was so hyped that it attracted over 800,000 investors. Pricing for the IPO in March 2008 was set at 5 shillings for each of the 10 billion shares on offer, giving Safaricom a market value of 200 billion shillings. But here's the twist. While everyone expected the shares to triple overnight, they dipped. The share traded between 6 and 8 shillings in the first week before dropping to 3 shillings in October. Some panicked and sold their shares at a loss, but for those who stayed patient, in June this year, Safaricom's valuation at the NSE crossed the psychological barrier of the 1 trillion shilling mark after its share price traded at 25 shillings. This teaches everyone an important lesson. Investing isn't about overnight success, it's about playing the long game. We can go on and on about how investment decisions need patience and balanced risk. But let's look at how you can approach the KPC IPO. Do your homework. Don't just follow the hype. Look into KPC's numbers, their profits, assets, debt, and cash flows. Understand the industry. Get a feel of the oil and energy sector in Kenya and East Africa. What are the trends? Know the risks. Every investment has risks. Be sure you understand what you are getting into. Get the details. When the IPO details are released, check the fine print on things like the share price and how many shares are available. Have a game plan. Decide on your investment approach. Are you in for the long term or looking for a quick return? Talk to an expert. Before you commit, consider getting advice from a financial advisor. It is always a smart move. Bottom line, the KPC IPO is a huge chance, but it is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Be smart, be patient, and invest wisely. Happy investing!
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
Owning a home is often the biggest investment you'll ever make. However, as technology advances, lifestyles change, and environmental challenges grow, the houses we live in today may not meet the needs of tomorrow. For instance, the spiral staircase that is trending might not serve you well in your old age. That's where future-proofing comes in. Future-proofing your home means designing, building, or upgrading it in ways that make it adaptable, sustainable, and relevant for years to come. This doesn't mean building a boring house. It means investing in comfort, sustainability, and financial security.
Homes are constantly evolving. How they are built today is not the same way they were built 50 years ago. Still, the fundamentals of building a home remain the same. A home, like any other investment, should be future-proof. It should be able to stand the test of time and adapt to your changing needs over the years. So, how can you build a future-proof home?
Future-proofing could be depending on where you are, at what stage you are in your life. So for example, if you're a young couple planning to have kids, then future-proofing of your home would look like building a home that is suitable for children, okay? So you definitely look at environments that are suitable for raising a family. If you're a retired couple and are looking to downsize, then again, future-proofing is very different because you'll be looking at a house that basically will make your stay more comfortable. So you don't want to build a house that is 3-4 stories up, because as you age, things like staircases will also pose a challenge in your old age. So whatever it is that you're doing when it comes to design, I believe it should be a hybrid design.
So, what are the key features of a future-proofed home?
Having a ramp at the main access is a big plus, because as mobility becomes a challenge, you want to avoid the stairs, you want to avoid chances of tripping and falling. Making your house accessible via wheelchair is a very big plus. So when you come to the internal layout of the houses, it would be good to have wider corridors, yeah? Like I said, if mobility is a challenge, so for example, if the client is using a walker or a wheelchair, you want to have corridors and walkways where wheelchair access, or when someone is using a walker, then movement and access will not be a challenge. Another very, very important thing that people tend to overlook, as you grow older, chances of slipping and falling are very high. So things like bathtubs are things that you want to avoid. Yeah. So instead have spacious bathroom with that is wheelchair accessible. In the bathrooms, it would be important to have non-slip tiles so that we avoid incidences of slipping and falling and resulting to injury. And also in the kitchen, you might also want to consider having similar tiles.
To build a future-proof home, the materials used are a major factor to look into.
The materials that we recommend for one to use when they're building a future-proof home are materials that have proven the test of time. So like now in our country, we are very big on concrete and masonry. Such kind of materials have been proven to withstand different weather elements and have been proven to actually be very durable. So basically, it just depends with where you are. If you're building in the coastal side, the materials that are recommended there would probably be very different based on the climatic conditions, as opposed to what you would use, for example, in places like Nyahururu or places that are in the Rift Valley where it's actually very cold. Having a full concrete house in an environment where temperatures are actually low, you'll end up with a very cold house. So you need to balance.
As with any good thing that stands the test of time, maintenance is key in future-proofing a home.
A house, like any other thing, needs to be maintained. It's just like a car. You need to take it for regular services, maintenance services, correct? It's the same thing with a house. So if you want your house to be durable and for it to serve you well for many years, you really need to spend a lot of time on maintenance and fixing issues when they arise and not letting them spill over and lead to other issues.
Future-proofing a home isn't a hard task, but there are some mishaps that you should avoid to ensure that you don't have to go back to the drawing board in a few years.
For you to have a successful project or a successful construction, your team, the team that you're working with really, really, really matters. When you have a good team of consultants, that's qualified architect experience and qualified architect, quantity surveyor, electrical and mechanical engineer, and structural engineer. They'll be able to advise you in terms of design, in terms of adaptability of the design that you want. Another thing that we usually do in commercial, a lot of the commercial projects that we're involved in, we subject all the materials to testing. The trend that I've observed in the market is when people are doing their own residential homes, they do not bother to test the quality of steel, the quality of stones that they're using, the quality of cement that they're using. It is very important because we're talking about future-proofing your home. You want to use materials that are durable and that will serve the purpose that they're intended to serve.
Future-proofing your home is not just about preparing for tomorrow. It's about building a home that will accommodate your changing lifestyle while still being perfect.
As years progress, our lifestyles change. So the question you should be asking is the design that I have, is it adaptable as my lifestyle changes? Is it adaptable for my children as their lifestyle changes?
Future-proofing your home will ensure it remains functional, comfortable, valuable, and adaptable to technological advancements and evolving building codes for years to come. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Coming up, think twice, a different way to sell Mitumba.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Moolah, kila siku waste that moolah, make more bila stress.
Welcome back to Mint, where we explore the world of personal finance, simplifying it and making it relatable for you. Whether you're looking to earn, spend, save or invest, we've got you covered.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
Shopping for affordable and high-quality second-hand clothes, popularly known as Mitumba, is straightforward. However, it can be a rather tiring task if you take the traditional route. For example, trying to find your way through hundreds of stalls and digging through piles of clothes in Gikomba market can be pretty tiring. While bargaining works, things in the Mitumba sector are gradually changing. The entrance of formalized second-hand stores keeps prices low and allows shoppers to shop like they would at a clothes store. Simon Munjama, business manager at Think Twice Kenya, explains this concept behind the establishment of the company, which has stores in Thika, Kiambu, Naivasha, Meru, and a majority in Nairobi.
Shopping for the affordable and quality second-hand clothes, popularly known as Mitumba, is straightforward but can also be quite difficult if you take the traditional route. You can go to Gikomba Market in Nairobi and try find your way through the stalls and dig through the piles of clothes. You could also do the same at any of the major markets in urban centers in Kenya. Bargaining is part of the process. While this approach works, things in the Mitumba sector are gradually changing with the entrance of formalized second-hand stores that keep prices low and give the shopper the opportunity to shop like they would at a clothes store. This is the concept behind Think Twice Kenya, which has 25 stores in Thika, Kiambu, Naivasha, Meru, and a majority in Nairobi. Other shops using this model include Rahisi Second-Hand Mart and Budget Wear, with the latter having 9 outlets in Nairobi, Thika, and Rungai.
The idea behind Think Twice is the shopping experience that we offer to the customers. Once you get to our shops, then you will find the environment is very clean, friendly. The product is separated into departments where it will be so easy for you to shop. The prices are clearly indicated, so there's no that concept of bargaining or rip-off or things like that.
The first store was established in 2014, and at Think Twice, the prices range from 25 shillings to a maximum of 1,500 shillings. Despite the high operating expenses like rent, staff, electricity, license fees and others, the company's competitive advantage is because it imports its own items directly, cutting the normal Mitumba supply chain.
In Think Twice, that is very different because we import directly and from the port to the warehouse to the shop.
According to Mitumba Consortium Association of Kenya, 90% of Kenyans use second-hand clothes, with the sector employing over 2 million Kenyans, both directly and indirectly. Meanwhile, 185,000 tons of Mitumba clothes come to Kenya every year, offering the government 12 billion shillings in taxes. Since the Mitumba industry is customer-centered, the formalized second-hand clothes stores will grow gradually, just like in other global markets. Abel Kamau is the sector's executive at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers.
The growth has also been even to those actual traders within Gikomba. Many of them shifting from Gikomba and operating formal operation joints around most of the estates. So I think it's a trend, it's a market trend, it's a distraction, which I think we should capacity build our business people towards adoption.
On the other hand, KAM data shows the local fashion market has employed over 300,000 Kenyans, both directly and indirectly. And with good regulation, the growth of the formalized second-hand clothes may not have any significant negative impact on the local fashion market, since the two markets target different people.
The critical thing for us is to ensure that what is coming in as Mitumba is genuinely Mitumba. One of the concerns that the manufacturers have had over a long period of time, is where you find new clothing or new footwear being imported as second-hand. They are misdeclared as second-hand. And this ultimately leads to under-invoicing. And those imported new items end up paying lower duties and taxes. And these new products are the ones that are giving direct competition to locally manufactured products, because it's new for new. So the critical thing, which I think also the government has really put in a lot of effort, both within the Bureau of Standards, the Revenue Authority, and also from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, is ensuring that we have regulations that ensure that any trade which is happening, it's genuine trade.
Think Twice plans to expand to other major cities in Kenya.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
The world of television and film is filled with numerous actors who play different roles, from the leads to the extras, and chances are casting director Gerald Langiri has had a hand in creating one of your favorite TV or movie stars on the Kenyan screens. Langiri has gradually refined his acting skills, starring in TV productions such as Mashtaka and Mali, as well as films like Fundamentals, House of Lungula, Watu Wote, and 46. As a casting director, Langiri acts as a matchmaker within the film and TV industry, using his keen eye for talent to pair the right actor with a suitable role.
You see, Madam Inspector, we are all gathered here because it's
Mr. Taylor's birthday, surprise birthday.
No, it's not.
Actors are at the center of any production. From your favorite series or movie, actors and actresses bring to life the stories that we enjoy and look forward to binge every day. But how do the characters come to life? Who even decides who plays what role to make the movie or series a reality?
My name is Gerald Langiri. I'm an actor, I'm a casting director, I'm a location scout, production manager, I'm a filmmaker, basically, in short. If you had to summarize me into one word, I'm a filmmaker.
After 5 years in the IT industry, Langiri decided to follow his passion, acting.
I've been acting ever since I was young, as far as I can remember. Now, but professionally, I joined the industry in 2011. My first show ever was a show called Mashtaka. I joined in as a lawyer, then went to a show called Mali as a lawyer. Did several other shows as a detective. There's a show called Maisha. Fast forward to recent times, I think I've done a lot of movies, House of Lungula being one of them, I think, most popular movie which I've ever done. There's another movie called Fundamentals, which is also the lead character in that.
About 5 years ago, Gerald delved into the other side of filmmaking, from being the star on the screens to finding the stars to be on the screen.
A casting director basically translates characters on paper into real life. And by that, I mean we are talent scouts. So that basically means reading the script, understanding it, break down the characters, see them in your mind. Casting is one of those things where it's very emotive, it's very personal. It's one of those, a good actor to me might not necessarily be a good actor to you. You get who you might find appealing or beautiful or sexy or, looking for a handsome guy may not necessarily be the same definition I have compared to the next person next to me.
Langiri says sometimes getting the right character for the story is not an easy task.
So it's a creative process. It's a think tank process because there's a lot of thinking to do. There's a lot of networking you have to do. For Selena, for example, I think we had to have 3 or 4 auditions for that. And we actually found Celestine Gashoyi on the 4th audition. Like the first audition, with yes, there are people, there are options, but they're just not. Again, there's that picture in your head that shows her as a casting director or as a director. And when she just walked in, we knew that's the one we were looking for. That's her. Like, actually, I saw her on the line, like, I think that's her. She has all the qualities I'm looking for, so yeah.
Casting has evolved over the years. Initially, aspiring actors and actresses would camp outside the Kenya National Theatre or other art centres looking out for posters for auditions for TV shows and movies. But that is changing.
Nowadays, they do online auditions where I ask you to send in your pictures or send in a tape. And from that, we can actually just choose, which saves a lot of time on our end, to be honest, and resources, because then now it's upon you as an actor to have the right tools that are required from casting directors.
Langiri's skills in IT didn't die down. He used them to develop a website where actors and actresses can have their portfolios, something that eventually played a key role in him becoming a casting director.
That is when I came up with a website called actors.co.ke, which is basically a resource for actors. For you as a producer, as a director, if you're looking for actors, you go there, go check out people's profiles, and IMDb, but for Kenya, okay? And then for actors also to try and just market themselves.
Social media has continued to play a key role in the film industry. This has helped them discover new talents and maximize their potential.
Social media has changed a lot. It will change things even further. It's happening in Hollywood where people now are not even being cast. The Kardashians are not being cast because they're good actors. Well, they get straight to become good actors, but they were cast also because they have this huge following. If I have Kim Kardashian, if I have Nicki Minaj on my movie or show, I know I'll make money out of it because she'll come with her own audience.
If getting casted for a show or a movie is on your list, the casting director says one has to use every avenue, including social media, to put out their talent out for the world to see. But most importantly, work continuously to sharpen their talent.
Because it's one thing to have the skill, it's another thing to sharpen it. So that's talent, how to act for screen, how to act for TV, how to act for stage. Those are 3 different things which, as an actor, you should first know, where do you belong and how to grow from one stage to the next if you really want to become a TV actor. So have your talent, be passionate about it, be driven, market yourself, network yourself, push your image out there, because how will you get found if we don't see you? If I don't know you, how will I give you work?
From Langiri's story, we have learned how the TV and film landscape has shifted over the years and how, as a budding actor, you can leverage social media to market yourself. This wraps up today's episode of Mint, Money Made Simple, your essential guide to personal finance designed to help you make your money work smarter for you. For more information, visit Mint at mula.co.ke or tv47.digital. Stay safe and keep minting. Until next week, I'm Lydia Nyawera.